Oh, hello everybody, and welcome to a new edition of Inside the PFL. I am your host, Drac, and I'm joined by the previous host of Inside the PFL. It is Jim. Let me unmute him in Discord real quick. There we go.
Oh.
Introduce yourself,
Hello.
Jim.
Yes,
Hey.
Inside the PFL alumni right here.
So, Mike is off celebrating Mario's birthday, as, he should be
Oh
celebrating
yeah.
stuff IRL.
Happy birthday, Mario.
Happy birthday, Mario. So, we've got about 5 games to watch that did not happen on the broadcast. And then, obviously, we will be looking at the matches coming up this week.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think I've seen 1 out of 5 of these already. So I'm really excited to kind of dive into and dissect a lot of the ones I haven't seen yet.
Great. Well, then, without further ado, let's get on over to the battle window, as Joe would say. First off, we got Jack against Sheej. Music off, speed slow. Let's hit play. So, Sheej's team is obviously incredibly offensively powerful, right? You've got Latios and Excadrill right there, and Mega Pidgeot.
Yeah. The screen support with Grimmsnarl definitely helps out Excadrill and Pidgeot. I assume he's running screens. Again, this is a battle that I haven't seen.
Right.
But here's Klefki to answer right back.
You got screens? Oh, yeah, well, I got screens too. Okay, failed the trick, so that's obviously the Z Crystal on Lati.
All right, that's a nice light screen there.
But on paper, I feel like Jack's team should have kind of a big advantage because he's got the faster Mega. Aerodactyl, I don't think it's faster than Excadrill +1, but Jack also has like a ton of sustain. He's got like the immediate heal on Palisand. Rotom obviously has Pain Split. So you'd think that Jack might be able to win the sustain war against, Sheej's squad that he brought. But Sheej just kind of pivots perfectly all around Jack and just ends up getting these tiny advantages that just amount to, all right, well, Excadrill can now come in and you've got nothing to switch in.
Yeah. So we saw a knock on Yuxi right there. Is it Yuxi have a Z move, or did we already see it?
Yuxi is the Z captain.
Earlier? Okay.
Yeah, nothing got knocked off.
Yeah, not bringing Mega Arrow, specifically for, Pidgeot and even Latios, just being able to guaranteed outspeed those massive threats and at least hit them for fairly decent damage, if not, super effective.
Right, that I don't quite know what on Sheej's team Jack didn't like. I guess it was maybe a bit too easy for Excadrill to get off a rapid spin, but then he's got Palisand as a spin blocker, so
I wonder if Aerodactyl gets outsped by Excadrill at +1. I feel like it doesn't, because it's 88 compared to 150.
150, yeah. Well, so, I know that at base 145, like Mega Beedrill barely outspeeds a Scarf-based 80 by like 1 point, so I think Excadrill actually would be faster at +1.
Probably just by a little bit then.
Yeah.
I love the Palisand here. I feel like Palisand's one of those Pokemon that doesn't get enough credit for what it does.
No, Palisand is so good. The immediate shore up plus water compaction, so you somewhat negate one of your weaknesses, is so good.
Yeah. I wish that water compaction negated the water type move instead of still tanking it.
That would be ridiculous.
Yeah, it would be, but it's also, it's ground ghosts, so you're still weak to a bunch of different things.
Yeah, that would be like stamina on steroids, though.
True.
What a world that would have been.
Yeah, I wish Mudsdale didn't take any damage from physical hits. That'd be awesome. Just blank him completely. Oh yeah, the confusion. Oh my goodness, the confusion on the Hurricane right there.
Oh, but he broke through it, so
didn't affect it that much.
And she's just doing a really good job of just outpacing Jack because of the screens, I think. So Jack lost Klefki and he no longer has screens. So Sheej's team is kind of twice as tanky now all the time.
We see a bunch of pivoting coming out from both players. I mean, the Volt Switch on Rotom, you turn on Mesprit, you turn on Pidgeot. A lot of that going on, but you're right. Sheej basically is just kind of one step ahead. And even though Palisand's definitely bulky, after some toxic damage, this is a scary situation.
Right, and that's the situation you don't want to be in, where one of your checks has to switch in clean, essentially, or hard switch into a move, right, when he's already chipped a little bit. Because that's the difference between a 2-tap and a 3-tap so many times.
This is it's kind of an interesting matchup too, because of the 6 Pokemon that Jack brought, like overall, and not that this designates the overall value of the Pokemon, but they're mostly lower point Pokemon. Like the highest is Rotom Wash.
Yeah, Rotom Wash is 160, Kecleon is 40, Klefki's obviously 120. I think Tauros and Palisand are both 60, and
I think you're right. And then Uxie's 100. Yeah.
Yeah.
So not that they're like entirely you, but
yeah, but Sheej brought all his hard hitters.
Yeah.
Laddie, exactly. Excadrill, Mega Pidgeot. Boom.
Yeah, I wonder what was going on in the team building process for Jack. Like, if he thought, oh, maybe, Sheej won't bring the specific Pokemon. Like, maybe he thought Sheej wouldn't bring Mega Pidgeot because he had Mega Aerodactyl or something like that.
Oh, yeah, potentially.
Like, that might have influenced his decision making on, like, what to bring.
Also, I don't know if we've seen it yet. No, we haven't. But Kecleon's got Sucker Punch, so he might have been leaning on Kecleon a little bit much in the planning stage to Sucker Punch, potentially Sashed Excadrill, Sucker Punch Laddie, Sucker Punch Mega Pidgeot.
Yeah, I mean, definitely not a bad idea. I mean, Sucker does a lot of damage to 4 out of 6 of these Pokemon.
Especially Protean.
For sure. I mean, have we seen like, we don't know if it's Assault Vest, but
no,
I assume
we don't
it is,
ever see the item on Kecleon.
Usually Kecleon's Assault Vest.
Right, Kecleon's got that big 120 Spidef.
Oh, yeah.
And tons of coverage, so it's kind of just easy Protean Assault Vest. You could even go Banded, though.
True. Banded Shadow Sneak or Banded Sucker Punch is never a bad idea.
Yeah. The guy with Spiritomb over here talking about banded priority moves.
True. Oh my god, Spiritomb came in so clutch for me this week. That Pokemon's ridiculous now. I think it used to be very middling, and now it's pretty damn good. But here we go. The Sucker Punch towards that plus a little bit, but it's not enough to take back the game.
No. At that point, when it's just Kecleon at 5%, kind of throw it in the towel.
Could he do it, though? If he wasn't banded, get a couple of Drain Punches in there? I don't know.
Maybe if Grimmsnarl just hit 0 moves for the rest of the game, potentially, but that quad-resisted Sucker...
Yeah, I don't think that's ever going to really happen.
Yeah, Sheej is on the board, as he announced to the Discord very happily. And he should be. You never like to be 0-3.
No, for sure. I mean, earlier in the season doesn't matter a ton, but definitely by week 3, like you want to start putting up numbers.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think that was a pretty convincing game.
Yeah, Sheej was pretty much in the driver's seat. Honestly, the early game blowing the Z Fire with Laddie to at least chip Klefki down enough to be in kill range for Excadrill later, that was pretty big. That might have been the turning point of the match where Klefki kind of got stuck in there.
I don't mean to make a pun, but Klefki was definitely the key for Jack to win.
Yeah, for sure. Because, there's a lot of stuff that Klefki can, well, not necessarily directly answer, but the support for the rest of the team when you've got all your low tiers is a big deal. Then on to the next game. We've got Dave against Dan.
God.
He'll hit play.
Oh my god, look at Dave's team.
Yeah, Dave's team is a monster, and Dave made a ton of changes too. So we'll get
after
into
this
later.
Week or before this week?
This week. After this match.
Sick. Wow, Corviknight's probably the best answer of all time to Rabombi.
Yeah, because
Rabombi doesn't get anything to hit it.
No, I think Rabombi gets like Air Slash maybe, but that's not hitting it because its other moves are Bug Buzz, Moonblast.
The best thing he can hope to do is Stun Spore. No, it definitely doesn't get.
You can't even Mystical Fire it though, even if it did because of Mirror Armor.
Oh, you can Mystical Fire.
No, because you'd be lowering your own.
And you'll get hit. Oh my god. Wow, Mirror Armor's broken. Oh my god. I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter when you're facing down Special Victini. That was a kind of a weird play because I think at +1 with Corviknight there, you just hit something in front of you, whatever is switching in, right? And
Yeah.
then figure out what to do after that. Because when you're stuck in bulk up, or when you bulk up the second time, Victini basically just gets to hit special fire move for free, you know?
Yeah. And you can't like assume it's a special Victini because the threat of recreate's always there. So you're not going to go into Florges. You're not going to go into Espeon, you know?
Yeah. And even turn 1, I think Dan did a really good job. Just hitting Donphin in the face. I mean, he got wished up, right?
Ooh. A knock there? Is that no item or is that a Z move?
That is Z move.
Ooh. God, this thing's on the screen.
Glaceon?
Yeah.
You a Glaceon hater?
Yes. Unabashedly, yes.
What about now? It got that clutch freeze.
No, doesn't matter. It got 2 this game. This is the one I watched.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It definitely does. I mean, Glaceon gets 130 special attack freeze dry. That's not something to sleep on.
Does it get freeze dry now?
Yeah.
I thought it didn't get
No,
freeze dry.
I'm pretty sure it does get freeze dry.
I feel like the evolutions, I don't know. Of the evolutions, I think Glaceon got like Glaceon and Leafeon kind of got the short end of the stick. And now Jolteon, unfortunately.
How did Jolteon get worse?
Or just the lack of
as
hidden
the meta has
power,
progressed?
mostly.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's like, Volt Switch, Hyper Voice, and like Toxic is its main set. It does get freeze dry, huh?
Oh, yeah, something else about Corviknight is that was really the only hard answer to Registeel. Like, you can maybe make some stuff happen with Focus Blast on Hydreigon and Gengar, but even then, Registeel's really, really big.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it enough times. Registeel just lives and lives and lives, and then eventually your team just crumbles beneath its body pressing toxic rest might.
Yep,
Or whatever it is.
Second freeze freeze from the Ice Beam.
Yeah, it got freeze dry in Generation 8. Didn't have it in 7. So that's actually a buff to it. Very respectable.
Yeah, Corviknight was pretty much a hard answer to 3 of these mons, like Ribombee, Registeel, and Glaceon. And now
That was pretty good versus Scrafty too.
Yeah, it can definitely start hitting, Brave Bird or something. But even then, I don't know if you would necessarily want to get in the bulk up war with Scrafty where he can just drain punch you.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you are carrying body press, which I assume he was, I don't
yeah,
remember if it happened.
True.
Then you just body press a couple times, and if you're at +1 or +2, like it's still gonna hurt him.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, yeah, that was the great play from Dan. I mean, even though he defogged his webs away, he did get rid of the rocks, and he was able to immediately get the webs back up. So over the last few turns, he definitely put himself in a more favorable position to really take this game home.
I'm surprised that we didn't see a hard call from Dave there that he knew Ribombee wanted the webs out, so I'm just going to go Espeon. Well, I guess Espeon will just die to the subsequent bug buzz because it's slower, won't it?
Yeah. I mean, you don't necessarily want to risk Espeon, especially considering like it's one of your fastest Pokemon. So it does do well versus relatively well versus the Noivern, but definitely outspeeds the Victini.
Okay, yeah, Z Focus Blast. That's pretty much all Gengar can do, and that, man,
that's a Spadef Registeel, isn't it?
for sure.
Oh, and the crit there, haha! But now you can't use it. Florges is coming back in. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, I like Z Gengar a lot because I think there's a lot of things that he can hit super effective that he might struggle with, like specifically Registeel. So if you can get potentially a Nasty Plot off and then the Z move, I think that helps so much with trying to break down gigantic walls.
Oh yeah, Z Focus Blast is probably one of the best moves to Z Crystal.
Right. Yeah, you did that a lot.
It makes
with
up for the
Lele.
accuracy and gives you way more power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the accuracy is a big thing. That's why when I had Durant, I made it the Z captain just because Z move is so free with Durant. The hustle,
busted.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
All right, you're landing another one though. That's good, but now you're dead. So
Scrafty huge. I think it has like 115's defenses.
yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, and at this point, Dan can just kind of trade stuff off, like force Hydreigon to kill Scrafty so that Noivern can come in and get like a free Draco or something, or even a
Yeah,
U-turn.
he's in a very favorable position right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, okay, he does
Oh, we
just
see the
U-turn.
U-turn. Yep. Playing 1 turn ahead.
There's no way
which is
Floor
very
just can
nice.
do that much to Registeel. Like,
No.
Moonblast is not doing 18. We saw how much it took from the Z Focus
Oh,
Blast.
there it is. Okay, there it is. Chest arrest. What did we say?
Oh, twisting the
37.
screws.
Oh god, Life Orb, Earth Power, 37%.
Oh.
And God, this Pokemon is so bulky.
I like the Ironhead calling out Floor just potentially coming in.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
you're just gonna body press
what would
over and over
Florges
again.
even do to? Oh, like on the body press, you're saying?
Yeah.
I mean, there's
yeah,
no
yeah.
reason not to keep clicking Ironhead. Nothing resists it, right?
Yeah.
Or
Wow.
he just wants to start setting up because what the hell?
Yeah, wait, that was a crazy call actually. Just cursing in front of Hydreigon when it could potentially have hit Earth Power.
Yeah, the double Earth Power would have killed Registeel right there.
Yeah.
Right?
If he didn't just keep slamming body press. But I guess Dan just
Yeah,
had that read.
I can't tell if that's 4D chess or like 3-head. Like
You're
I don't know.
potentially throwing away the game. Like one of your hard checks to Hydreigon.
Yeah, I mean, you're not throwing away the game anyway. You got Victini and
Yeah.
Noivern, and even Rabambi can just bug buzz
Yeah,
twice
yeah,
at
that's
that point.
true.
But it is interesting, definitely.
Making it a little harder than it needs to be. Like he just hit body press over and over again.
Does he save the plus? He does, but
Not really.
not really though. What do we got? Ooh, now you know it's Spec Psychic, so this is Draco.
Supersonic
Draco.
Sky
Oh,
Strike.
no.
Yeah. Wow, I'm kind of surprised that Z Hurricane didn't kill there.
Yeah, I mean Espeon's Spadef is okay, right? Isn't it like
Is it?
one?
Does
Is
it
it
have like
95
110?
maybe? It might be 95
Let me check.
because 110 is speed, 130 is special attack. So the other stat has to be Spadef because they all have the same stats.
Yeah,
They're just
yeah,
all
they
mixed
still
up,
have the
you know,
same stat distributions, but in
Yeah.
different places.
because it doesn't have attack.
Yeah,
it doesn't have
95, okay.
defense. Yeah. But yeah, very solid game from both players. I think Corviknight going down early. It's the same thing. The Steel type goes down early, and then the rest of the team is just able to kind of, pick it apart. Dan kept up momentum, got the webs up, which are huge.
Yeah,
Not that
especially
they affected
against,
a ton, but Espeon and Gengar,
right, and those two things were faster than Victini, so that it is specifically with Dan's team in this matchup. Webs were super crucial because that's the
Yeah.
difference between Victini just like slamming a psychic in front of you and Gengar potentially forcing it out.
Yeah, I mean, especially, by the end of the game, like you see Victini, Glaceon, and Registeel, like Gengar had the moveset to deal with that. Because Glaceon's definitely not on full health.
Glaceon ended on 20%.
A Shadow Ball Focus Blast and a little Sludge Wave or something, like, it's
Pretty good.
yeah. Turn 50. Didn't feel like a 50-turn game.
No, it kind of just felt like the wheels fell off once Corviknight was down, and Dan just slowly pushed disadvantage and used the mon advantage to just pivot and chip everything. Well,
Yeah.
on to the third game. Got Manny against Hunter.
Oh, God, the Lele. Show me the Lele plays
Ooh, well,
in the Silvally.
hey, Silvally Fairy is a great Silvally to use.
Oh, no, I do not sleep on this thing. With Parting Shot, I mean, Fairy's an excellent defensive and offensive type. So, perfect. Yeah.
Double Parting Shot, hell yeah. So,
so ridiculous.
not a lot on this team wants to see Venusaur under Sun. That's
True.
kind of an issue.
Yeah, I mean, you got the Gastrodon. I guess
Gastrodon,
Incineroar can kind of deal, depending on if it has like an Assault
it has
Vest
Earth
or-
Power, though. That's the only thing.
Yeah, but with an AV, though,
Maybe. But
it's
then
in the
you
sun,
got
too. You just have to
two
click
rock
like
setters.
a Flame Charge or... Does it run Flare Blitz? It doesn't run like
Even
Fire,
Fire
Punch
Punch
ever,
at that
really.
point.
Yeah.
Man, I cannot believe that Power Whip did 47 to Slowbro. That is insane.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
So big.
non-stab, Slowbro's literally thick.
Yeah, Slowbro's got 110 defense and like 95 HP. It's
Yeah.
so big. Uh, Goodra being burned, if that's a physical Goodra, is kind of a big issue.
Yeah, I'm
Because
surprised he went for the Scald there. Because it wasn't a switch in, I don't think. Or,
no, he just slammed Scald on Power Whip. I think Manny just calculated that, or he ran a calc that he would live.
oh,
And you don't like
just like
this.
whatever you Scald, it'll be fine. And if
Mhm.
Gastrodon comes in, like you just TP out. Is that
Right. Yeah, exactly. Incineroar going down, that is so bad, especially for potentially being a Venusaur check.
oh yeah.
I think he was probably relying on like an AV Goodra to be the Venusaur check, to be quite honest. Because
Oh, it could have been AV.
it can't hit him for anything super effective, but Goodra's at half. That's not where you want your AV mon to be.
Yeah, and burned.
Yeah, I don't think the burn's going to matter if it's slamming like a Sun Flamethrower.
Okay, a little bit of rocks up. I mean, I assume Claydol has spin
It
with,
really
with
should.
Torkoal and Kyurem. I feel like that's kind of a yeah.
Yeah,
There we go.
Kyurem gets Defog. Claydol gets Spin and Rocks.
Great turn to spin right there.
Yeah, no ghosts. Cobalion's not hitting you for anything.
That's a well played Toxic there. I mean, if Venusaur came in, that could have been not good, but
Well, here's kind of an issue. Manny can just kind of bide his time to find a good spot for Torkoal to come in.
oh yeah. I mean, have we? Okay, so like obviously Torkoal has 2 rings. Are there any other Pokemon that have 2 rings besides him? Have we
Nihilego
determined that
does.
statistic? Nihilego
Zapdos
does. Okay.
Um,
I want to see the elites, you know? Oof. And you lose
Venusaur does.
Gastrodon?
Yeah, Venusaur does.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, just like as regular Venusaur or as
Yeah,
Mega
regular
Venusaur?
Venusaur. I don't even think Mega
Wow.
Venusaur has a ring.
That's actually insane considering it goes in the top 5 picks every single freaking draft.
Yeah, I think it's one of those issues where it is so good. It does well against nearly every single team in existence. Mega Venusaur does. But when you get to playoffs and you're fighting like the best of the best, like they're going to soup. You got to prep for Mega Venusaur. You cannot just let
You
it
can't
just
lose
eat your
your
entire
one
team.
check for it and then just get destroyed by Leech Seed Synthesis Sludge Bomb. Like
Yeah.
we saw Lebo do that for games on games last season. Ugh.
God, Claydol's so big.
Yeah.
It's a tier 4, right? Or is it a tier 5?
Yeah, it must be a tier 4. Because, like, I mean, especially with like Scorching Sands now too.
Yeah. That's something I was going to say. I'm surprised I didn't see a Scorching Sands come from Claydol there, just because in the event something switched. I don't know. It
Yeah.
would have been good.
I'm
to
under the
potentially
impression
burn.
that Scorching Sands on like defensive ground types is just infinitely better. Just
Oh, yeah,
because
I agree.
the burn chance is way better than just like the Spadef down chance.
I completely agree.
Especially when you see this team that has literally no immunities to ground right now.
All right, Torkoal's finally in, so Torkoal's time to basically suicide, I think, and get Venusaur in to
we
just click a
seeing-
button 3 times.
Is this an eruption? Ooh.
To be quite honest, if I was in Manny's situation, I probably would have just hit Explosion.
Really? Just to bring in Venusaur
Yeah.
and just kind of end the game?
Like you've won this game already. Like it's Cobalion and Lele, but
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean
okay.
he knows that though. You know what I mean? So like the end result was the same.
yeah, exactly.
He might as well have gotten the lava plume chip on. I don't know.
He might
I guess
not
it just
even
doesn't
had
matter
Explosion.
regardless. That's true.
But yeah, either way, Torkoal is just in there to hit buttons until it dies, and then Venusaur comes in and cleans up the last 2.
Oh, the weather ball. Right.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's part of the reason why he's so deadly. He's got that fire coverage for steel types who would
Yeah.
otherwise hard wall him.
True.
Funnily enough, Chestnut is like one of the only mons that hard stops Sun Venusaur, just because it has
Yep.
bulletproof, and
The
Venusaur does
weather
not have
ball and
Sludge
sludge
Wave.
bomb. It doesn't have Sludge Wave.
No, it only's got Bomb, so Bulletproof makes you immune to
Wow.
Weather Ball and Sludge Bomb.
Jeez. I don't think I ever knew that it didn't have Sludge Wave. I assumed with, all the things getting every move in Generation 8 that it would just have it, but
Not today.
yeah. Another fairly dominating game. I think so anyway.
Yeah. Manny just had like the game plan for Hunter 6. It really felt like there
Yeah.
was nothing to do, especially after Incineroar down to what I think was a Specs Earth Power. It was just game over because nothing switched into the future sights from Slowbro.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I think an underrated part of this game was Manny's use of Future Sight. I mean, it claimed Gastrodon and then it claimed Electivire.
Mm-hmm. And it just sort of forces your opponent to switch into something else, so you automatically generate some momentum. Especially, yeah, that's not even considering you've got Teleport on your Mon as well.
Yeah, the Bros, the slow twins.
They're
ridiculous.
160 now for a very good reason.
Oh yeah.
All right, next game. Got Mike against Lebo. I'm gonna hit play. So something a little suspicious happens turn 1. Mike just
Really?
Yeah, Mike just lets Metagross
Oh,
die.
whoa. Okay.
That's not the turn 1 you expected, right?
Okay, so maybe that's Specs. Okay, so he definitely calced, like, he was weakness policy. He probably weakness policy agility or something. Expected to live the Dark Pulse,
Mm-hmm. No,
and then just died.
yeah, that's exactly what Mike thought. But even if it was not knowing what the spread on Houndoom was, you got to think maybe it is Specs.
Yeah,
maybe
I mean,
it's
you could
like-
just go into Primarina for free.
Yeah, exactly. I would have thought Prim or even Eel was free. I mean, Hitmontop's not taking much from a Dark Pulse.
True, but then it has to answer to a Specs. Oh yeah, well, true.
It's got Mach Punch.
But,
though.
yeah,
So yeah. That being said, Mike does a pretty good job at recovering from that little bit of a blunder turn 1.
yeah.
Because now he's got a Aromatisse super unhealthy.
I mean, that's fantastic to begin with. Like we've seen what this thing can do.
Aromatisse has a chip.
Just getting it out of the way right there too. Like that's big. Lebo's not usually one to let his tanks go down, and especially with Mamo in the back, and even Nihiligo too. Nihiligo is huge Spadef.
Mm-hmm.
So you could just switch out. Don't take 2 T-bolts. Just
Okay, yeah,
go
I
to
think
something that maybe eats it better.
that situation right there, I think Lebo's playing maybe a little bit on tilt and being stubborn, hitting the Swords Dance in the face of an obvious flamethrower from Eel.
Yeah.
I mean, Eel pretty much always has the AV, and it's like Drain Punch, coverage, Volt Switch, or U-turn.
Yeah, Eel gets like 6 moves. You have to assume it has all 6.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice Stone Edge there, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, he hits Stone Edge against Houndoom because, I mean, Stone Edge hits everything. Nihiligo's not switching into anything physical. And even if it
Definitely
could, a Bullet Punch is probably following up.
Hitmontop, yeah, Hitmontop gets Bullet Punch. That makes sense.
Potentially a Technician Bullet Punch. However, we already signed him.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, at this point, I mean, Prim deals with 2 out of 3 of these Pokemon, and then
I mean, it deals with all of them.
listen, Nihiligo still like can win this game.
Okay, you're talking about Nihiligo's big Spadef. Look at Prim's big Spadef.
That would have been the turn to
That's a stab super effective that it just ate, by the way.
yeah. I wonder what that spread was like.
Knowing Mike, there's nothing special about the spread. It's just 252, 252,
HP,
4.
252 special attack or something.
Well, it's scarfed because it went before Nihiligo. It's just 252
true.
speed, timid.
Yeah, a little E speed to finish it off. That 19 turns. Hey, this concise.
Oh yeah. Mike played a lot better when he had fewer mons on the board.
Well, Mike always does that.
That's true.
Mike, he'll lose like a Pokemon or 2 and then be like, oh wait, like I actually have to focus on this. And then he starts playing infinitely better.
Mm-hmm.
He always has a late game wind, I think.
Yeah, well, the funny part about that Metagross turn 1 is I don't even know what Metagross is hitting Houndoom back with. I guess like a Hammer Arm?
EQ.
Oh
EQ is
yeah, it gets
pretty
EQ. Okay.
pretty decent, especially versus Nihiligo if it switched in. Obviously, a bullet punch would destroy Nihiligo, but
Yeah. Yeah. Wait.
who
What?
knows?
What? Okay. Assuming it's a weakness policy agility. What are the three
Yeah,
moves?
I would say
You gotta have
bullet
Thunder Punch for
punch.
Mantine. You
I
almost
mean,
certainly have to
Scissor's
have
right there
Fire
too.
Punch for Scizor, right?
You got okay, so he definitely has a steel move. Aromatisse, Nihiligo, Mamoswine. I
Is
assume
yeah, is Fire Punch, T Punch, Bullet Punch? What? What was why? What? I don't see. There was a point, but hey, Mike got the win anyway.
yeah, it
End of
doesn't
conversation.
matter at all. Metagross was gone turn 1. There's no use thinking about it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, hey, well played to Mike. He
For sure.
definitely did what he needed to do to come back. And the last game, the thumbnail game for Tapu Bulu, Tristan against Mitch.
Is it a thumbnail game for Tapu Bulu?
It's for Tapu Bulu. It's a thumbnail game.
Oh gosh.
You can count on your fingers the number times Bulu gets a kill.
I
guess you
can
can't.
count on my fingers?
No, you can't actually. I messed up the joke.
Well, I have 10 fingers.
Oh, well, okay, on one hand. On one hand.
Oh. I was like,
We'll get to the part that makes whatever.
I got you. Wow. So Bulu gets 6 kills.
Bulu kind of goes off.
That's absurd. Especially considering freaking Arctozolt's there, Alola Ninetales is there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's just a few different things that stop Bulu.
So if you're in Tristan's shoes, what do you think the game plan really is to stop Arctozolt? Because Arctozolt, apropos of Hail not being up, kind of just destroys Tristan's squad.
I mean, yeah, maybe Regigigas can eat one.
Yeah, that's about it. In terms of things that would just face off 1v1 with Hail.
Yeah, that's totally true. You're right that this team seems fairly. Oh well, Infernape can have like Mach Punch or something too.
Yeah, that's true. Infernape can get Mach Punch. However, the fossil Pokemon are kind of big, so it probably just eats a Mach Punch or a Vacuum Wave.
Yeah, but a little Life Orb, Iron Fist, stab, Mach Punch.
Yeah, if it's
that
already
still hits.
chipped.
Behind Aurora Veil though, like yeah, you're right. This team does not want to answer to Arctozolt at all.
No, not at all. So Mitch has done a pretty good job so far of pivoting, getting the hazards up. He's done what he's wanted to so far. It's kind of just a matter of this point. How do you get Arctozolt in clean with Hail being up? Because Ninetales does not have any pivoting moves. Dude, can you imagine if A9 got teleport?
Oh, I mean, yeah, that'd be ridiculous. But is that an Icy Rock?
Yeah, Hail still has 3 turns left. That is the
Yeah.
Ice Rock.
So then my question is like, okay, you see Slowbro there. What do you think Slowbro's gonna do to Arctozolt? You can.
Well, it's got the ability
fairly-
that it can go first sometimes.
True. I guess so. You don't want to really deal with the hacks of previous seasons that we've seen.
Yeah, because wasn't it Rob or something that had some game where
Yep.
he
It was
Yeah.
Rob versus Jack. I'm pretty sure.
he got
he
like
procced it
4 or
like 4
5.
times in a row. Was it
Yeah.
yeah, something ridiculous. Which it is fair to be totally salty about that because that's a lot of 30% chances or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of 30% chances, Joe will tell you he missed 7 hurricanes in a row, so.
7? Holy crap. Good defog gets rid of all that.
Yeah, but now Torn is kind of on his last legs. Misses another hurricane. I think that was
Does
2 or
Hurricane
3.
have a lower chance in hail? I know
It's
it doesn't.
only
Sun.
in sun.
Okay.
In sand and hail, it's the same, and obviously in rain, it's 100%.
Yeah. And here he is, Mr. Thumbnail.
Yeah, Big Bulu
Let's
himself.
start seeing it. Yeah, I don't get it because Mitch seems to constantly want to set hail, but then is so nervous about pulling Arctozolt out.
That is something I've noticed in all of his games. He gets hail like 3 times or something before Arctozolt even hits the field. Although
at
that
that
does sort
shiny.
of work out because if you get a little bit of momentum with pivoting, the hail chip also helps a lot. So
Yeah. I mean, you're here now. You get, 3 turns. Yeah, another blizzard, not a bolt beak.
yeah, I don't know why there wasn't a bolt beak there.
And the poison, that's rough. Poison's rough there.
No, but Mitch absolutely should have gone for Bolt Beak after that Blizzard.
I assume he had it. I assume this isn't like,
It,
specs freaking Arctazil, but he keeps going for it. I mean,
I mean, I
definitely
guess
not as strong.
he's not taking Life Orb damage. I would assume you'd go mixed and you pack Freeze Drive for Mola. Well, you wouldn't even need Freeze Drive for Mola, right? Because you have Bolt Beak.
Yeah.
Hey, that knockoff is good. Well, like I already had the Eviolite knocked off, but
They're torn with the booties. Yep.
4% turn.
Honestly, it's still funny because it's 22 or 23 turns in, and I still don't see Tristan or see Mitch like completely out of the game.
No. This play though, this is something Tristan has done in previous seasons where he has a prankster Tailwind Mon, and he somehow always finds himself in a situation where he's guaranteed to die on the Tailwind turn, so the next Mon comes in and gets the full 3 turns. Because normally if you have to pivot in one of those turns, you only get 2 turns of Tailwind.
Yep, you're telling me, as somebody who had to fight Tristan 3 times last season, and had to fight him every single time he brought Tailwind. Like I know, Tristan and Tailwind go together. Also, that's absurd. Also, is that a band? That has to be a band, right?
I think it is choice band because we don't ever see Blue switch off the move.
54%, but it's resisted. Oh God, bro. Oh geez, yeah, that's it. That's GG.
Yeah, no more hail. Well, actually, there's 3 turns of hail left.
But Arctazil doesn't one shot unless he gets a crit or a freeze.
Well, Blizzard. Right? I think Blizzard might one shot Bulu. However, you have an easy into anybody else. Yeah, just sack, and then Infernape comes in.
And he hits the little Mach Punch. Is that what we're...
Yeah. I mean, you threaten Mach Punch or Vacuum Wave, and then whenever Melodic comes in, you just U-turn and figure out what to do depending on what Mitch does, and then it's easy game, pretty much.
Now you're just like, okay, it's physical. Away. It's physical. I'm going into... Oh, he does go to Xurkitree still. Or he goes to Bulu. I would think you go to Xurkitree at that point because it's a physical Milotic. And obviously, Hornleech is still going to do just a butt ton of damage.
Oh, yeah.
And the crit, yeah. Yep.
I doubt the crit mattered.
I don't know. I don't know. Depending on Milotic's build, like...
I don't know.
Marvel
stab
scale
terrain?
is ridiculous.
Stab terrain ban, though? Hey, another freeze, but immediately.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, so that is 6 for Bulu.
Yeah. I would love to know that calc, because I think Milotic is just, like... huge. Like even super effective hits don't.
Let me see.
Kind of bounce off of her sometimes.
I'm calcing it right now.
Yeah,
so Melodic.
Yeah. I was assuming it's like max defense.
I'm going to put in the most generous calcs for Melodic side. So it's going to be bold Marvel scale, and then Bulu is just going to be Jolly and not adamant.
I am.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Banded Hornleech is a kill. 102 is the min roll.
Like, 102, even with Marvel scale?
Hold on, no. Actually, that was not Burn Orb. Okay, so 68 is the min roll.
Okay. All right. So the crit probably did matter because she had 79.
Yeah. That being said, I don't think an Ice Beam is doing it against Bulu.
Oh, no, definitely not, especially after all that HP recovered. But, I mean, we've seen a few freezes. We saw 2 from Dave and Dan's game, and then he got one with Arctazil here with Blizzard.
What a crazy week for freezes. Not that it did
anything, but yeah, there's been a lot of freezes this season. I know somebody said that in the Discord, but it's been really prevalent.
Hey, sometimes you just have a freeze week.
Yeah. I've never had that. I don't think I've gotten a freeze maybe one time in like 6 seasons.
Oh man, when I was playing in another league, I had P2 and it got frozen like 5 games, specifically switching into a freeze dry. It was absurd.
Yeah, with that 10% chance you get hit every single time. It's so rough.
Yeah. Well, hey, that does it for our games. Yeah, very
great
well
week of
played,
battles.
Tristan. Sorry. We're going on to the standings. That's the next thing we're going to look at.
Ooh. Love that.
That's not the standings. Oh, I didn't have the standing image prepared. Well, there, you can look at the OBS window.
Oh wow, okay, that works.
All right, so we got Mike and Bick tied for the top of their division, 2-1 plus 7. Hey, you're at the top of your division, also 2-1 plus
Yeah,
7.
hell
James is
yeah.
on your tail though, a
Yeah,
slightly
yeah,
smaller
he
plus.
definitely is.
Polyrath, very interesting division. 3 2-1s. LCD at the top with +8, then Manny with 5, Vangie with 4. Hunter
Yeah,
hasn't picked up a win yet, but
Hunter's been kind of a punching bag in that division. It looks like.
and all right. So in my division, Nigea, big lead for the
Yeah,
entire
plus
PFL.
14 is
Plus 14.
absurd right now.
Yeah, plus 14 is absurd. Nigea's team is absurd. Like Gliscor and Polion is so
Yeah.
nasty to prep for.
You want to click T-Bolt? You want to click Earthquake? Yeah, have fun. Good luck.
All right, and then Tristan 3-0 plus 8 with his +4 over Mitch there.
Tristan 3-0. Wow.
Yeah,
that's
Tristan
sick.
got the value team.
Oh yeah, you're right. But I mean, still only two undefeateds
That's good.
and
We're
only
all being
two
competitive.
not on the board. Yeah, definitely.
All right, King of the Kill.
Okay, yeah. This week shook some things up. Notably, obviously, Nigea just popped off with two different Pokemon.
Yeah, Nigea got, I think, 5 kills with Greninja.
Arctozolt. Okay, all right. So we're saying that Arctozolt didn't do that much, but maybe it did some. Maybe it did pretty okay.
I think it's coasting off the backs of some previous weeks because I think it got 2 kills this week. And
Yeah,
Bulu got
it was
6,
only 2.
and he's not even top 5.
I mean, that's 1 week though.
Mola on Tristan's team has more kills.
Yeah, that Pokemon is cancer.
Oh boy, I'm
Mence
glad I don't have to
with,
fight Mola.
was that 555 at the bottom? Flygon, Altaria, all the dragons, all the dancers.
Yeah, all the dragons are sitting down.
You love to see it. You love to see that all the dragons are in the same spot with a lower number of kills than like
Lower than
Mola,
Mudsdale and
Mudsdale.
Alomomola.
Necrozma not doing too terribly either.
Oh yeah, well, we'll see how it shapes up. But right now, Nigea is pretty handily in the lead because he can kind of pack kills on Raikou or Greninja and then just run away with it.
He's got a choice. I feel pigeonholed into Mudsdale now, but that's not the Pokemon I want to be getting the most kills.
Yeah, not quite. Anyway,
Yeah.
time to look at the trades and pickups before we get into the commish picks or the predictions or the analysis of the next games, whatever you want to call it.
Heck yeah.
So, first up, we've got Dave. He's made quite a few changes. He has dropped 3 Mons, I believe. Yeah, so he dropped Hydreigon, Florges, and Jolteon for Dragonite, Mega Absol, and Electrode.
That's the classic, hey, Florges is not working for me. Let me drop it. I feel like that happens every single season. Or somebody doesn't pick it up. But definitely adding a Mega to the team, for certain, really good idea. I'm not so sure how I feel about Dragonite over Hydreigon, despite Dragonite obviously being really good.
I think Dragonite, for Dave's perspective, is a bit more tanky. It can reliably get off some kind of a setup move. So that's great. Obviously, what I don't know. I think if Dave was going to drop anything, he should have dropped Audino instead of Florges, just because he now no longer has a fairy.
True. I mean, I don't know. I think they're both pretty even as far as like value. Because they're both wish passers, but Audino's got more physical bulk and it has regenerator. And then also it is covered with the fighting weakness by Gengar, now Dragonite, sort of Espeon.
Yeah, that's true.
Now that I look at it, Dave actually has
I
doesn't do great versus fighting. Period.
I think the huge Spadef on floor just kind of complements Corviknight a little bit better.
Oh, definitely. Not that you want to take Fire Blast and Mystical Fires all day, but
True.
But I think
there's
you're
some
right.
kind of relationship that they they complement each other there.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting that Dave's water type is Poliwrath, and there's not like a higher tier water type or like a rain setter or anything like that. You just kind of got my man's.
Dave is also missing a fire type and a grass type. I'm just noticing.
True. Yeah, very. I don't want to say unconventional team building.
I think it's definitely unconventional because he's missing quite a few types. That being said, the mons he does have that are high tier are really, really scary.
Yeah.
Dragonite and Corviknight, obviously, big problems. Hyper offense from Gengar Absol.
Yeah, I think Absol's specifically going to work really well with Dave's team, especially and Dragonite too, because they both have high power priority with E-Speed, Sucker Punch.
Mm-hmm. Sucker Punch, I think, is a little bit more reliable for priority.
Oh, for sure.
For Dragonite, it's non-stab and a lower attack stat.
Yeah, but I mean, you could have like a D-Dance up or even like a Life Orb or something like that. Not that you'd want to run a Life Orb with multi-scale.
Who knows? Maybe he's going pressure. Oh, no, Inner Focus is his other ability, isn't it?
You're not going to fake out me, huh?
That might be useful in like the situation where you're low and toxic, but no, you'd always run multi-scale.
Yeah. And final Electrode for Jolteon. I still think it's strange to me that he has two lower tier electric types, and then instead of swapping out one of them for like a grass type or a fire type, he was like another electric type.
To be honest, I don't know why Dave. I think I don't want to say sound too critical with I don't know why you do this, but I think for Dave's core, something like Granbull might have been a better lower tier. I mean, you got a bulky fairy within Tim, and it's 40 points.
I want Granbull to only have Parting Shot, and then I think that Pokemon would be really awesome.
I mean, Pivot obviously makes like any mon amazing, right?
True. But with, in Tim and fairy typing?
Yeah, no, I think in Tim and then you've got your Dragon Fairy Steel Core. That looks really hard to deal with.
Damn, now I was hoping that Granbull would have gotten some in Arceus Legends. Ursaring did. Imagine PFL 15 got Eviolite Ursaring.
Yeah, Eviolite Ursaring is a thing. Eviolite Stantler is a thing. Eviolite Hisuian Quillfish is a thing. Eviolite Hisuian Quillfish is actually going to be insane, by the way.
Oh, for sure.
Like in Tim, mono weakness.
That's for the future. But overall, I can kind of see the direction that Dave's going with. I think he patched up a couple things, but we'll see how it plays out for him in the future.
Yeah, and I'm fighting him, so some of my
you'll know.
prep.
You'll know how it turns out for him.
Some of my prep already went out the window, but that's okay. I mean, he's not obliged to keep the team say, "Oh, I already built for you, though."
Yeah, right. Like I built for you on Tuesday night or like Wednesday night or something.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's look at Vangie's team then. Twitch plays PFL.
Huh?
So he dropped Umbreon for Renarius. I like that a lot.
For sure.
He's not doubling up on the dark types. He's got a fighting switch in now. Who's this? For Ferrothorn is not always going to be running rocks every single week, so you could potentially go I guess like another attacking move or spikes instead.
I was going to say having a second rock setter definitely opens up more options for Ferrothorn because I feel like Ferrothorn also, despite being as good as it is, also has 4 move slot syndrome. Mm-hmm. Like you want to run the hazards, you want to run the leech seed, you want to run protect, and then power whip, gyro ball. It's like kind of a balancing act. And sometimes you just don't have what you need. It's kind of fortunate. Yeah.
And I think it also works, with Feeny specifically because now like he's weak to dark, but he also complements Feeny's weaknesses really well, I think.
Yeah. And weak to water, and Feeny just eats that up. Ferrothorn eats that up.
I like that you can potentially Wish Passion to Renarius with Komala.
Mm-hmm. Wish passing Komala. I wish I ran that.
What's wrong with Wish U-turn? Wish U-turn Rapid Spin something?
Nothing, but I don't know. I always wanted to run AV. I felt like he just couldn't hack it as like a bulky
doesn't he have like 100 Spit F or something?
95.
All right, so that's still pretty good.
His HP's like 65 though. So it's not
Okay.
even a big wish necessarily.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
But
you
I
don't necessarily need like a huge wish. If you can simply offset the damage you take switching into something, that's a win already.
Yeah, it's kind of enough, definitely. And then not being able to be status too is a big deal.
Oh yeah, Comatose might be one of the better abilities.
Oh, I think Comatose is great. I just hope, it's only on one Pokemon. I wish it was on like a couple more.
Can you imagine if Snorlax got Comatose?
God. Oh my God.
Actually,
Well,
I guess
okay,
that would
well,
take
hold on.
away rest, though,
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
then it couldn't rest.
Yeah. It would be funny at
It could
least.
sleep talk last resort though.
Oh, dude, banded Snorlax.
With sleep
Sleep
talk
talk
last
last
resort.
resort.
God.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
We're not ready for
No,
Wish Pikachu. Vangie is saying.
I definitely like this this pickup here.
Yeah, I think it complements the rest of his team fantastic.
Yeah, Vangie's team is kind of nasty.
I think maybe if I was Vangie, I would just move Renarigus over to being the main Z captain, so you can potentially just hold the Z crystal to be to make knockoff weaker. Potentially Z
Oh
Memento
yeah.
something.
What
You could even Z Poltergeist something. Like Stab Poltergeist is no joke.
what would Zatu do with a Z move?
I'm not sure what Zatu's plan with the Z crystal is.
Z Tailwind? Does
Zatu might
Tailwind?
get teleport actually.
Z Teleport. Okay, that's definitely it.
But I
That's
mean,
the
either
thought
way,
process.
that's just what I would do. I'm sure Vangie's got plans for Z Zatu.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, and you have plenty of weeks to kind of work out the kinks in your team too, if there are any. Which, honestly, I think this is a very well constructed team.
Yeah, that's a really scary defensive core with Runerigus, Feeny, Pharaoh, and then backed up by the extreme offensive Weavile, Zardex.
And then Masquerain. Don't forget about don't forget about the
Oh,
webs and Tim.
yeah, in Tim webs help out Zard a lot too.
Oh, for sure. And honestly, even Weavile, because that means that scarfs don't matter.
Yeah, because Weavile is going to be faster than most teams you're facing. Anyway,
What do we got left?
we got to look at the matches coming up this week.
Oh,
The commish picks.
first, is this the first Conference Cup? No, that's week 2. Week 2 was Conference Cup, right?
Correct. Week 2 was the first Conference Cup. Oh, I didn't
Okay, I just didn't
change
play
my
in
screen
it.
regions right. Okay. You're probably gonna have to look at the stream just because of the way I have my monitors set up.
Oh yeah, whatever. I mean, I could also just kind of pull the matchup.
Yeah, true. If you wanted the visual aid, I more meant.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's actually a better idea, so I can get both teams.
Yeah. Anyway, first match, myself against Dave. I like my matchup a lot more now that Florges isn't on the board, because Florges was gonna kind of be an issue for my defensive core.
Oh yeah, I mean, Buzzwole doesn't want anything to do with it.
Yes,
Pretty much
Sableye doesn't really
Sableye,
want
so
it.
its only weakness. Try or even Flygon. I mean, obviously an EQ is going to do some, but
Yeah, Z
I
Gengar is kind of an issue. I'm pretty sure I haven't run the calcs for Sableye yet, but I'm pretty sure if Gengar Z anything's, depending on what tank he wants to kill, will just kill it. I mean, maybe Snorlax lives 1 if it's unboosted, but
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
That's
I'm not going to do too much commenting, but I will say that you do not have a good matchup going into Corviknight. Like, Bolton's really what you got.
yeah. Corviknight is kind of an issue.
Sableye, I mean, with like Willow or something, can kind
Yeah,
of
Sableye can do some stuff.
shut it down.
Sableye can always do some stuff. But that being said, I'm picking myself, of course. You're picking for Mike, by the way.
Oh, I'm okay. All right, I'll make Mike proud then. I think I'm also gonna pick you
Hell yeah.
because I know that you have already started prepping like on
Yeah,
Wednesday. So
I'll randomly get like an idea for a match coming up, then I'll just like throw it into the team build real quick for later. So
sometimes you gotta.
yeah. Okay. Next match. We have Dan against Nigea. Ooh. What does Dan really do against Gliscor? Because he pretty much just has Glaciate on Victini, I think.
Honestly, I mean, Porygon 2 does just little ice beam action.
Okay, yeah.
Glaceon does kind of okay. Like a Scarf Glaceon hits I mean Vileplume, it hits
Okay. I'm liking
something
that.
else.
Yeah,
But you're right
Dan has
that
brought
the
Glaceon.
Gliscor and Empoleon is definitely a force to be reckoned with.
Victini might be one of those like one-stop shop answers to the entire defensive core with
Yeah.
what's that Bolt Strike that it gets?
Yep. Yeah, Nigea's team doesn't do very well versus fire specifically. Like obviously, well, Greninja's your only resist because Empoleon takes neutral.
Yeah, pretty
So
much.
we maybe a a little banded V create, a little scarf like blue flare. Who knows?
Big saying
I think
Barbaracle does some stuff.
I also kind of I was looking at Barbarical when you first said Gliscor, and I was like, a shell smash,
Yeah, probably gets
liquidation,
EQ from
EQ.
Empoleon. Yeah, but like Comfey just comes in and Giga Drains it.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Comfey's absurd.
Vileplume
Triage is
potentially.
so good.
Either lives one in Giga Drains or Strength Saps.
Does Barbarical probably gets Ice Punch, I would imagine. It might not.
It gets Poison Jab. I don't think it gets Ice Punch.
That's unfortunate, but I get it.
Yeah, Vangie's saying Vileplume Strength Sap starts Barbaracle. I mean, I would think just Giga Drain over Strength Sap.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the whole thing of if you lose like a check during the match, then
then
something could
Barbaracle
really
just
kind
eats
of
your
blow you
entire
up.
team.
Yeah. Although we do see, obviously Comfey with the triage and then Meowstic with the prankster screens. So there's mitigation.
Prankster screens, potentially even a Prankster T-Wave.
True. Oh god, prankster T-Wave on like Victini or Noivern. Don't take any of these ideas.
Yeah, hey, we're not building for you. We're just giving our hot takes.
Yeah, I am in my head, but I think I'm gonna go with Nigea. I mean, 3-0 plus 14 is convincing enough to me. That's the bet.
I kind of also want to say Nigea, just because I think Dan's answers to the defensive core are kind of liable to get like chipped down, or
yeah, he's got to reach. He's got to reach to answer it definitely.
Yeah, Dan's gonna have to work a lot harder to win, I think, than Nigea. So I think I'll go Nigea as well.
I promise I'll choose one thing different.
Well, hey, I picked after you
Mike's
that
sake.
time. That's on me.
Yeah, are you ahead of Mike right now?
No, Mike is ahead.
Mike's ahead by how many? So I don't let him down.
He's ahead 4 right now.
4? Okay, all right. So I can kind of maybe I'll make it
can
a
get a
little more
wild.
even.
You can pick
Yeah,
Mitch and really upset him.
I will probably. That's probably what I will do.
Yeah. So I think like a potentially a Sword Stance Gliscor can be a big threat.
God, what a great freaking set.
Oh, if it's just like, EQ swords. Does it get Brave Bird?
No,
Okay, well, I mean, surely it gets Aerial Ace.
it
I know
does.
it
It
gets
doesn't get
Sky
aerial
Attack.
ace and wing attack. But I feel like with Gliscor, you're pretty much always going to be running a Toxic Orb. I feel like it's totally, it's against your own benefit to
It's
not.
too free to not want to run the Toxic
like
Orb
you're not going to
every
run
week.
like, I don't want to say like leftovers because but like Life Orb, like you probably don't need it.
Especially when you've got, I wasn't even thinking Life Orb, I was thinking Sword Stance with the Toxic Orb set, to be quite honest.
Yeah, no, that's exactly.
But another thing about Nigea's team is he's got so many strong pivots to get Gliscor in for free and then get the free Toxic Orb procced with, Raikou, Greninja, Comfey. Obviously all incredibly strong pivoters.
Yeah, this match is it could go either way though. I definitely see the merits on both teams.
Well, both pick Nigea, though. On to the
True.
next game.
True, we'll see.
We got Tristan against Sheej.
Oh boy.
Ooh, I think Mola is a huge problem for Sheej. 'Cause
Yep.
What does he have to answer Mola?
Ferroseed.
Yeah, like Ferroseed and Rotom.
Oh, you know what? I mean, a Hurricane from Pidgeot, or like a Draco Meteor from Pidgeot, or from Latios.
Mm-hmm.
But Mola's not so huge on the Spadef side, but with all that HP, it doesn't really matter all that much.
Potentially Z Laddie.
Yeah.
Laddie gets Beanbolt. We saw the Z move used to great effect this week.
Does Latios get Beanbolt?
I believe it does.
And does Latios get Beanbolt?
It might be one of the things where like one of them gets it but not the other.
Because does Latios get Mystical Fire?
Latios does get, he gets Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt, Mystical Fire, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, you're right. Mola's definitely an issue. And then honestly, the speed tiers of Sheej's Pokemon, besides Mega Pidgeot, like
they're not looking great.
no. Versus Infernape and Tornadus. Gyarados
Mega
after
Gyarados.
one D-Dance.
Yeah, and Mega
Or a
Gyarados,
Tailwind, frankly.
right, yeah, the Suicide Tailwind that Tristan is just so he's such that's the mark of like a strong battler, that it's such a ridiculous idea that you're just going to Suicide Tailwind to get the 3 turns, that he does it consistently and wins matches. That's just a sign of such an incredibly strong battler.
Heartbeat.
Yeah, I'm going to go Tristan though.
Damn.
I think,
I'm also going Tristan.
Yeah, I think Mola in combination with the superior speed in general.
Yeah, I love Sheej's team specifically, but I don't know. It seems like a tough matchup.
Sheej's team is one that kind of needs to go off quick and in your face to win, I think.
Yeah, you got to have the breakers, definitely. It doesn't have a lot of sustainability. That's what I notice. It's got Ferroseed's Leech Seed, and like the 2 can like roost, but other than that, you're not wish passing.
You're not roosting Mega Pidgeot very often.
Exactly.
Yeah, because Grimmsnarl can't even prankster T-Wave Excadrill. It can't even prankster T-Wave Gyarados for that matter.
Excadrill does super well versus Grimmsnarl.
Oh wait, what? Okay, I don't know why I was thinking.
Yeah,
my brain,
they're right there on the
part.
same
I have a
card.
brain part. Okay.
Damn, one of Sheej's Pokemon really counters the other one of his Pokemon. He's got to be careful.
Yeah. Hey, Sheej, watch out for Excadrill. I could really ruin your team.
Yeah, that's a pretty good warning. Or Bulu. Bulu can do some things here. But not versus Rotom, really, but if you get a Rock Slide or Superpower or whatever the hell.
I mean,
Hammer
Bulu
Arm.
gets Stone Edge even.
Oh, yep.
I mean, Rotom
Stone
he
Edge
doesn't
is
want a Stone
better.
Edge.
Neither does
Ferroseed
Mega
is
Pidgeot on
really the
Switch.
only wall to Bulu? Ugh.
That's pretty much why I picked Tristan.
Yeah. I think Tristan just has this superior squad by a lot of metrics. But hey, maybe she just gets off like prankster screens 3 times and Tristan can't break down his team and just gets back.
Hey, you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Mons, it's a fickle game.
Yeah. Well, on to the next game. And it's yours. Against Lebo. Jim and Lebo. Two badge holders.
Yeah, I can't wait to beat Lebo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's got Ments. He took Nihiligo. Like, I know everything that Nihiligo is bad at.
Yeah, you above anybody should know how good Nihiligo is.
I mean, yeah, it's absurd. I mean, hopefully I don't get swept by it because that would suck. But I'm not sure about my matchup. I mean, Lebo's team's really good, obviously.
I think the combination of his heavy hyper offense with like Mamo, Salamence, Nihiligo kind of just Starmie puts a cork in that, I think.
I will say that I have already built.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess don't tell me if I'm if I mention a set that you have.
I don't think you're really giving
then
anything
you'd be out
away. You can
yourself.
just look at a set of Pokemon and be like, "Yep, this does that," you know. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely.
Well, Well, yeah,
I
Starmie does kind
definitely
of
have
seem
a
like the
really
one-stop shop.
good. I have good stuff for Lebo's team. I think.
Yeah, like Mudsdale might even live in Icicle Crash. I don't know.
Oh, it for sure does.
Then you
I
stamina
definitely
body
didn't
press it
calc that.
back.
Definitely didn't calc that. No, Lebo's not here.
Yeah, Lebo's not watching. It's
If he goes
this isn't
back, it might
this
be a problem.
broadcast isn't being saved and archived or anything.
Yeah, not definitely not anything like that. And I'll
Uh,
just tell him watch out for Graplocked.
hmm. I don't know. Like Mantine seems like it's his only defensive mon that does acceptable against you.
Uh, ye-
I mean, like yeah, but Archeops can just stone edge it, so I don't know.
I got a lot of rock moves.
You do. You've got 6 rock
I
setters.
know. I know how many rock setters I have. I've had trouble with that. I just shuffle that move around. I'm like,
Yeah, that's
oh, you
something
know.
I've been noticing in prepping for my games as well. That man, like Clefable's the only reliable rock setter I have. That's not the situation I want to be in.
No, definitely not. I mean, I think I have too many for my own good, but it's
Now,
okay.
you're keeping your options open.
I'll do some trades and pickups at some point. I gotta get some more Pokemon out here representing.
Well,
I go myself
I
because
know
I'm
you have to
confident
pick
and
yourself.
not self-deprecating.
I don't know. I think Lebo can do it. I think he's got such a strong squad that if it goes off, you're just dead. But
You
at the
right?
same time, I I'm seeing Lebo's threats, and I think, well, if he does this, then you've got like Como as an answer. Then if he does this, Heatran comes in, and then I don't know. I think you win the shell game too many times for Lebo to keep up. To be quite honest, so I think I'll pick you as well.
Cool. I love your vote of confidence.
It just looks rough for Lebo. What can I say?
I mean, hey, listen, those 3 Pokemon, like the Scizor, Salamence, Nihilego, I just looking at them makes me anxious.
Right, but I feel like if I don't know, it's awkward having the other host's game analyzing it preemptively. But I feel like if Starmie gets off a rapid spin, then I don't know what Lebo does about that because there's a bunch of stuff that doesn't want to sit against Starmie.
True. I got
And
2 spinners though,
yeah, well,
so we'll see.
we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, next game we got Bick against Manny.
Ooh, they're both 2-1, or maybe
Yeah,
Manny's
they're
3-0.
both they're both 2-1. Bick
Okay.
beat M1 and Lebo,
Yeah, that
and
sounds right.
Manny beat Hunter and who else did he beat? Did he beat Vangie? Maybe? I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Well,
Mons all blends together.
yeah. All right. What? Okay. So the big question: what does Bick do about Sun Venusaur?
Yeah, that was my one thing. Honestly, defensive Necrozma just kind of eats something, and then what the hell? Photon Geyser's back.
Okay.
Vullaby, Vullaby. Hold on, Overcoat Vullaby. Can't sleep out of me.
Yeah, but I mean, if he's
Braver
bringing
here.
Venusaur, it's going to be the Sunset, I think.
No, yeah,
I
yeah.
wouldn't be too worried about a defensive Venusaur just because you have like Pyro Ball, Cinderace, and then like Glalie is potentially hitting return.
Yeah. Um.
Thick
Yeah, I
Fat
mean,
Milk
Venusaur is
Tank?
definitely an issue.
Or like AV Necrozma, Thick Fat Miltank maybe?
Yeah, Bix team doesn't do too hot versus fire types. I'm noticing. I mean, Swampert's great, but besides that,
Yeah, like the fire switch in is literally just Swampert. Well, okay, he's got Diancie too, but
yeah, Diancie has the quad resist.
oh, Diancie might.
Or no, not the quad resist. Excuse me, the resist period.
Mhm.
But
Well, Diancie might be able to eat a like solar beam or something. Potentially, Diancie's really big.
yeah, Pokemon's definitely big. But like when it's regular Diancie, its offenses aren't exactly stellar.
No, but it might be enough where if there's already some Life Orb chip, a Psyshock or a Psychic might be able to do the trick.
Yeah, honestly, I'm hoping to see some big sets. I'm hoping to see some really kind of cracked out stuff trying to shut down whatever man he's got.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
Um,
god, Mega Slowbro. I
Glalie
mean,
Glalie seems
Zoroark's
like it
there.
does very good here, actually. You get freeze dry for the Mega Slowbro. I believe you get CC for Berserker, which would be the only real resist, right?
You're telling me Glalie gets fucking CC now?
I'm pretty sure it does. I'm pretty sure, or maybe it gets superpower. Maybe that's what it is.
But it gets a fighting move.
I'm fairly certain of that.
Uh,
I'm scrolling through. I don't see it actually.
no, no fighting move.
I could have
I was gonna
sworn it
say
got
like
superpower or
that would be
something.
absurd. Let me see a Hail Glalie. Hail Mega Glalie.
That would be sick.
Say fuck the sun. Catch this 100% accurate Blizzard.
Oh, it gets EQ. Okay, it gets EQ for Berserker. So,
Yeah, it's
all
not
right.
bad.
Glalie then definitely seems like it's a problem
Yeah.
because it's faster than everything other than Zoroark and Regieleki outside of Sun.
Aleki. Has Manny brought Aleki yet?
I think he brought a Lecky to one match.
Was that last week? Or 2 weeks ago, I should say?
Yeah, I think that was his first week.
Oh, I hope he hates it.
Yeah, you had it then, and then immediately dropped it.
Yeah, no, that thing's in draft, I don't know. Especially when you're always playing for plus, and if your opponent has a ground type, then you're not doing hot. It's, I mean, it's super good in like VGC, obviously, but singles.
Well,
Also, Manny can bring whatever Silvally he wants. You know, you got
yeah.
the
He has been bringing the
experience,
Silvally
you know.
Fairy. I think he brought that to all 3 games so far. Which, I mean,
Yeah,
is a
it's
great type.
great one.
I think I'm going to give it to Bick. I think Bick has, like, some tricks up his sleeve, but that being said, if Manny manages to just win the Patience War, and he has, like, you know, a couple regenerator procs on Slow Row, followed up by some feature sites, everything could get whittled down for Venusaur to come in.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Manny. I'm
All
gonna
right. Hey, we differ.
be a little
There we
bit
go.
different. Yeah.
It's definitely going to be a
The
tough
Sun
game.
Core plus Mega Slowbro plus Zoroark kind of gets, and Kyurem, like let alone a Kyurem in there.
Yeah, and it's crazy because he used to have Dracovish, but he dropped it for Kyurem.
That's totally fair.
I think Manny looked at his schedule and saw that everybody had a water absorbed freeze dryer, and he was like, "Nah, Dracovish,
Yeah, I just
not.
don't
It's
want
not
to do
that
that
season."
anymore. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of what happens though. Dracovish is, it doesn't have a lot of counters, but the few counters it does have, like, really do well.
Well then, next match, we've got Mike against Vangie. Okay, so now with Runerigus on the board, how's Mike doing? Honestly, Runerigus
Mike has
does really
Dragapult.
well against Mike, doesn't it?
I mean, it, you know, Dragapult does things to it. Primarina does things to it. Eldegoss doesn't take care about anything. Runerigus does.
Oh, that's true. But I think there's a few mons that Runerigus can just kind of come in on, like Arcanine or Metagross,
Yeah, it does really well
Licky,
versus Metagross.
Hitmontop.
Definitely. Yeah, and
So,
Hitmontop's not going to click. I mean, the sucker's going to do nothing. Plus, he could just get rocks or, you know, whatever the hell he wants to
right,
do.
like it gets triple axle, but I mean, if he's triple axle, then Wandering Spirit is going to proc, and then you're no longer going to have the Technician boost. So,
Yep.
I guess like Mandy and Runerigus just kind of stare at each other. Like Mandy maybe knocks it off, and then Runerigus hits rocks.
Yeah. Or like a burn and a roost or something. I think Zard here is really scary for Mike.
Yeah, absolutely.
One D dance later, like, your priority is a bullet punching Metagross and a mock punching Hitmontop. Like,
And you
no.
resist the bullet punch as well. So
oh, and E-Speed Arcanine too, I guess, but it's not going to do enough to take down.
I think Mike is absolutely going to bring the
Zard.
double in Tim Core because he is one of, you know, a few of the like PFL OGs who worships Zardex because of its ability to just like hit D-Dance once and wipe everything off of your side of the field.
Yeah, it is. It is very absurd. Something I noticed about Vangie's team too, like you bring up the double intimidate, is that Vangie doesn't have a ton of like crazy special attackers. Like he's got Feeny, Lantern is kind of very middling, and then Zatu. But
Yeah, Feeny. I mean, Feeny can, if you run telepathy instead of Misty Terrain, you can run like a Calm Mind Rest set sometimes.
yeah,
And then if Mike's only answer to that is Eldegoss, ooh.
yeah, Feeny does very good in this match as well, versus everything but like Electros. But even then, like it's got pretty big stats.
Yeah, okay, it's like Mike's lower tier tanks with Eldegoss, Weezing, Eel that are really the only things that hard stop Feeny. And even then, I don't super believe that Eldegoss and Weezing hard stop it.
Oh, I'm sure it doesn't. I mean, does Feeny get Ice Beam? I feel like it probably doesn't.
I don't think so. I think it's
Yeah,
one
I
of
didn't
those
think
weird
it
mons that only gets stab moves.
I mean, I think that that's just a positive balance change for the ice types. I feel like ice types should definitely just have, I don't want to say a monopoly over ice type moves, but too many water types get it.
Yeah, too many things in general get Ice Beam just because of the Gen 1 move syndrome,
Yeah.
where everything in Gen 1 got all of the TMs in Gen 1. So now you have Nidoking with Beam Bolt.
Oh, it does get ice beam.
Okay.
This is Vangie as he builds. I think I'm gonna give it to Vangie.
I was thinking that same thing. Like, Feeny's a big issue for Mike. We could end up in a weird situation where it's just Prim and Feeny slapping each other and nothing happens for like 30 turns.
Yeah, I mean, I just think about just offensive presence. I think that's really what's gonna kind of decide the game. And I like Mike's team a lot, but nothing's gonna be to the levels of like a Dragon Dance Zard or a Life Orb Weavile or something absolutely nuts.
Yeah, not a lot has a great matchup against Weavile either. Because
Yeah,
you're
no, nothing wants to
probably-
switch into a knockoff.
Right. Okay. Sure, it's resisted on. It's resisted in Tim with Hitmontop, but then you're getting like a Life Orb potentially knocked off, maybe even an AV knocked off. I don't know.
Yeah, and then he switches no matter what into like Zatu if
Yeah,
he has it,
exactly.
or Feeny, or pretty much anything, or Runerigus. Yes, there's so many things that counter Hitmontop that he almost doesn't need to worry about getting.
Yeah, and
hit
even
with,
if you
like,
switch
a
into
fighting
your
type
other
move.
Intimmer with Arcanine, you're just getting like the boots knocked off. In which case, hey, that second Rock Setter is coming in real handy.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see though. I mean, both of them have a D-Dance setter. Both of them have a Water Fairy type. They're kind of fairly similar teams, I want to say. Not incredibly, but there's definitely some parallels I can see here.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it to Mike. To be honest, I think Mike's.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think Mike can do it.
I love you, co-host, but I know Vangie's in the builder right this second, so.
Well, yeah, Mike is turning over a new leaf this season and picking himself every time.
I love
So,
that. I love that for him.
Yeah, as opposed to last season where he picked the other person every single time.
Yeah.
All right. Next match, we got M1 against James.
Oh boy.
I think James's team has a real hard time with Zarude. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's kind of just like Articuno and Coco.
Geez, Slowking does okay, right?
I mean, I don't think it wants a Lariat.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely not. Yeah, definitely not the dark type hit.
And with James running, the weakness policy Aegislash every week so far, I don't know if like a +2 flash cannon is going to cut it against Zarude because Zarude is so bulky, especially if like M1 specs it to start living
Oh yeah,
random
if
hits.
it's like an AV or something like that too.
Yeah.
Like, Zarude's got a lot of options for a grass dark type. Like it's pretty solid.
Yeah, it gets synth even.
Yeah. And on top of that, M1 has Torn T, Mien Shao, Mega Manectric, which just goes probably even faster than pretty much everything. on that
Yeah,
team.
honestly, Megamanetric might be faster than a +2. I haven't run the calc, but it might be faster than +2.
Aegislash is what, 50 and Mega Manectric's
I think it's 60.
35?
Yeah,
Is it
61.
60?
I mean, James's only bet might be like Sapsip or Azumarill.
Okay, listen, but that would hard stop Zarude and then also like I totally believe James is willing to give up huge power for that
Sure.
specific.
I mean,
He's
the
gonna
only
run
issue.
Sap Sipper, freaking Whirlpool, Toxic or some shit.
Yeah, the only issue with that I think is that Zaru just U-turns on you for free, and then like Manectric or Torn comes in, or even Salazzle.
Oh god, yes, the Lazzles. So I mean, honestly, being able to Toxic Aegislash and Slow King,
Ooh, that's
big deal,
true.
big
Oh, is
deal.
this the week where Toxic Stall Salazzle actually does something?
I mean, nothing really besides like Coco outspeeds it.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
that's dangerous. I would, if I was James, I'd be a little careful in the builder.
Webs also kind of hurt James a lot as well.
I think that M1's team is just better. I hate to say it,
I
but
You
like
hate
there's
to
so
say
much like no, I don't hate to say it honestly. I think there's so much like scuffed stuff. Like I see the Blossom, I see Smeargle, and I see like Type Null, and I'm like, well,
Yeah,
but
I think I'm gonna give it to M1.
see, this is a conference cup match, and James is in my division, but I think
Ah, okay.
I'm gonna give it to M1. So hopefully James maybe sees this, which I know he won't, and lights a fire under his butt. But regardless, I think M1 has just the better matchup.
Okay. Next match. Kyle against LCD. Ooh, this should be a really good match. Two incredibly strong battlers.
Yeah. Oh man. This
Okay.
and they've faced off before too. I think they were in the same division last season. I want to say.
Yeah, I think so. I think LCD won both of those, both their matches, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
think you're right. Pretty sure you're
All right.
right.
So, I mean, the question we always have to ask when you're going up against Kyle's team, what's the answer to Stoutland?
Uh,
Mm, like
I mean, like, listen, like
Lando.
Lando T exists.
Yeah.
Superior's pretty bulky. If it has to take a hit, Kangaskhan can also take a hit if it has to. Depending on what kind of Altaria
You
you're
know what?
running,
Hey,
you got a
even
Cotton Guard one.
honestly, Clefairy. What does Stoutland do to evaluate Clefairy?
True.
Because it's just like return, crunch, play rough. I think it gets wild charge, and then
Uh,
CC. I think those are its
yeah,
coverage
it does
moves.
get Wild Charge, definitely. Does it get CC now? I know it has superpower.
I believe it does. I had to prefer Stoutland at the end of last season. I should
Yeah.
remember that off the top of my head. Um.
Doublade does well versus Jirachi,
Well,
Terrakion.
you know who I was gonna say might do really well is Magmortar.
God, I love Magmortar.
I feel like Magmortar could be sneaky good against Kyle's team because
Yeah,
what really,
Basculin.
well, yeah,
Dugtrio.
it's like Basculin and T-Tar are the only things that might consider switching into it.
Yeah, definitely.
It resists the fairy type move from like G-Weezing.
I mean, so I think this is one of those scenarios where it's like type diversity will help you more. And I feel like Kyle's team has, I want to say less of that.
It definitely
Still
does.
a lot, but it's got similar like weaknesses that can kind of be exploited.
Right. Because I mean, he's missing a fire type. He has a poison type. He has a rock.
No, oh yeah, I was gonna say no water
No
type. but
fighting
Basculin
type.
exists.
Oh no, Chestnut. Never mind.
I don't know. I think each player is gonna have to kind of dig a little deeper into like how they're gonna check certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Like there could be hazard stacking, there could be like a Cotton Guard Altaria. Like
Yeah, this
I
is
think they're really
super
gonna kind of need to
double-edged.
pull out some stops.
And honestly, bulky Mega Altaria might just be able to potentially trap something like T-Tar. Well, I guess T-Tar's probably not standing against it anyway.
Yeah, probably not.
I guess.
Well, you never know. I mean, if it's a weakness policy T-Tar,
Wait,
you know,
who's the check to Altaria then? Is it Dublade? Dublade and G-Weezing?
Altaria. No.
Mega
We see the
Altaria.
Mega versus the regular.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we do have Altaria v Altaria.
Doublade would, if not for like a flamethrower or a fire blast.
Yeah. With Eviolite though,
We actually Wheezing does pretty good.
I don't think Weezing. Okay, Weezing's got double stab super effective, so that's nice.
Yeah, and also it doesn't take any damage from dragon and fairies resisted. So
So if LCD packs something like the Protect Flame Wheel, no, not Flame Wheel, Fire Spin set. I
on
mean,
on Magmortar.
no, I just mean on Altaria, like the
Oh.
trapping set, and then you just protect to get some of that free percentage HP chip, and then you go into like Lando or Jirachi or something, and force
Yeah.
Weezing back out. Uh, LCD might be able to whittle down those checks pretty quickly.
I mean, yeah, this is tough because honestly, like both
Yeah,
teams are very good.
yeah, this is tough.
There's so many options. I feel like for each other's like stuff that I feel like no matter what, when the battle starts and we see what six they have, I feel like I'm gonna be surprised.
Like maybe LCD, maybe this is the weekend Mega comes. Who knows? Because Speed Boost can potentially get around that continually boosting, or not,
Yeah,
or the double speed for Stoutland.
really good versus Chestnut, and I
Hmm.
mean if you're +1, you can outspeed Doug Trio, you outspeed Zam potentially.
Yeah,
But T-Tar's not gonna want to bug buzz even in sand.
T-Tar eats a Bug Buzz easy.
Yeah, but I mean
No,
it's freaking Yon Mega.
that's true. But yeah, if it's
Stab
like a
super
throat spray
effective.
set, that could be an issue.
Is bug bug a, oh it is because it's a sound move.
Hmm.
That's absurd. I totally had no idea. Wow. All right, enough
This
with the ideas. We've come up with like 15 different sets for them to think about.
and we haven't even mentioned like Terrakion and Lando,
No.
really,
Yeah,
well,
we've
except in
mentioned like all the
passing.
little hitters. Uh yeah. I mean, honestly, I it's totally up in the air. I think I'm gonna give it to LCD.
I think I'm gonna say Kyle. I think
Okay. Hell
I
yeah.
think Kyle's got a bit more. He's got some more meat on the bones in terms of like the defensive and offensive diversity that he can bring. It's like
Yeah. Uh,
just not T-Tar. G Weezing is ooh, that's
yeah,
so
that
solid.
is huge. That is definitely very big. I think that both of the players probably just need to dig deeper for some
Hmm.
sets. Really kind of think about all 11 mons because I feel like anything could come.
Yeah, it really is one of those things where anything can. I'm like, oh, okay, probably Zapdos is probably coming. All right, T-Tar is probably coming, but after that,
But then yeah,
who knows? All right, next game then. We have Dylan against Hunter. Okay.
Mega Medi Tyrantrum,
Mega Medi Tiny.
Tangrowth,
Okay,
Magnezone.
even Embor, like Hunter doesn't have a great answer to Embor. It's pretty much just
Fuck, I'm going.
Gastrodon.
I've taken 3 seconds to look at this matchup. I'm going Dylan.
Yeah, I really think Dylan.
I mean,
Ooh,
just because
it's
what answers Medi? What does Ariados? Like
all right.
no.
Cool. You still do a -1 Zen Headbutter Psycho Cut.
Yeah.
I'm not even running
And
that calc. I just know that you are.
there's no, I mean, there is, the webs would be helpful. I mean, that's one thing that I noticed when prepping for Dylan's team that his hazard removal was Togetic and Cryogonal.
Hey, and Tentacruel. Tentacruel gets spin.
Oh, and Tentacruel, true. And Tentacruel outspeeds Lele. And it could get Giga Drain for Gastrodon. And it kind of deals with Incineroar.
And then, like against Cobalion, you resist both stabs, so you just
Yep.
scald for free. Okay, maybe
Yeah.
Gastron comes in, so it's not as free, but still.
I think that this is a
Yeah,
very
on
polarizing
paper,
here.
Dylan's team looks so much better.
And it's not even to say like I don't like Hunter's team either. I love Lele, Skarm, Gudra,
Hmm.
and I really like I like the Gastrodon and Incineroar
Dude,
too.
I like
But
Thwacky. I had
yeah,
Thwacky for like half of a season last season.
honestly, like a banded Grassy Glide Thwacky probably does some work versus Metacham at least.
Okay, against Mienshao, but then, all right, it gets hard stopped by Embor, Magnezone, Tang Growth.
Yeah, Tangrowth is
Tentacle probably
notably
lives one.
Tangrowth is a freaking problem. So like nothing wants a sleep powder.
And doesn't Tyrantrum have like 100 defense? It's probably eaten one.
Tyrantrum is just, yeah, he's got defense. He doesn't have Spadef, but he's bulky. And Rock Dragon is deceptively like a really good type.
Mm-hmm. Vangie saying Layla is going to carry the whole team.
I mean, that's possible. That's what
Right.
the Pokemon freaking does. But
I mean, Lele does hit everything on this team.
true.
Without
I mean,
a doubt.
Fairy is really, really good into Dylan, except for like Magnezone.
But even then, Magnezone doesn't have the greatest specialty.
No. And Lele's not a Z captain, but it still can run Focus Blast.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing stopping
For
Lele
sure.
from running Focus Blast. A little T-Bolt for like maybe Togekiss or Togetic.
I mean, Lele doesn't want a poison jab from Mega Medi.
No, definitely not. I think that Hunter's really going to kind of need to
He's going to need to find something
figure some
really
things
creative.
out. And Dylan too also plays like a turn ahead. And if Tyrantrum or Medicham is able to actually play a turn ahead, or even Mimikyu, then things are not looking good for your team.
Mimikyu, if it gets in on the right turn and then it gets to hit a Swords Dance.
Yeah,
that's
unless you
really,
get a flinch.
really bad.
Then yeah, no, Mimikyu can definitely go off.
Well, actually, hang on. Who does Mimikyu actually come in against that it forces them out so that it can Swords Dance?
It outspeeds Lele.
Yeah, it's got 97. Okay.
Lele's got 95. So like, and it, obviously like Shadow Sneak is blocked, but a Shadow Claw does well versus everything except for Incin, basically. And if you're still have your disguise active too, then you just SD.
Well, not if the terrain is up, because you could end up in that awkward situation where, like, you assume Mimikyu is faster, and you waited for Lele to kill something so you could get it in free. You hit Swords Dance only to find out that it broke your disguise first, so you're not going first next turn.
Oh, true. And honestly, I mean, Psychic Terrain's not really helping with Mega Medi's Zen Headbutts too.
Yeah.
Powering those up, I don't know. You got two. No, you got 3 Psychic.
Like
Triggers.
Scarman,
4.
Incin.
but-
Ooh. Those, I don't, like, Scarm is not the mon you want to be the sole answer to Medi. I don't think.
It can't be.
It looks so rough for Hunter.
I feel like that's a 2-tap high jump kick. I mean, Lele quad resists it. Like, don't get me wrong.
I think it's still taking like 40 though. I'm gonna keep it 100. I think.
Yeah, close. You're right. You're right. Pokemon's not bulky.
Yeah. Although, so we both are saying Dylan, right? That's what it sounded like.
Yep. We decided that, I think, in the minute, and now we're trying to do some counter prep for Hunter. Like, listen, like, you got to really prepare for this shit.
It's going to be tough.
Who
We'll
else
see what
do we
Hunter
got?
comes up with.
Yeah.
You know what? Mr. Rhyme might not be so bad here. Like, okay, it loses to Medi. We'll be real. However, I mean, it hits Tangrowth. It hits Tentacruel. It
hits Tyrantrum.
Yeah, it gets
After a spin,
Focus
too.
Blast.
Like,
Ice
Ice does pretty good.
Yeah, Ice does pretty good here, I think. It gets Focus Blast for his own, potentially.
Yeah. Don't sleep on Mr. Rhyme.
Vangie's saying potentially a Scarf Gudra.
I don't mind Scarf Gudra, because especially versus like Tyrantrum, like
Yeah,
it doesn't do well versus like Mimikyu, but a Scarf Draco could really kind of come in
because
clutch
Gudra is
wherever.
faster than Tyrantrum, right? It's 80 versus 71, or is Gudra?
Oh yeah,
70?
Tyrantrum 71. Yeah, Tyrantrum 71.
Yeah, and Gudra's 80, right?
I think so.
Okay, so like not a lot wants some Scarf Draco spam, and you've got to be real ballsy to hard switch Mimikyu into anything.
True.
So it could be tough for Dylan to handle a Scarf Gudra. I'll give Hunter that.
Yeah, we'll see.
That being
We'll see how
said,
this goes.
Hunter's counterplay looks pretty difficult to work, but who knows?
Yeah.
He knows his team better than we do, I think. So
True.
Last match. You got Jack against Mitch. Ooh boy.
Well, this is stupid because I want to vote Mitch, but Jack's the homie.
Yeah, of course I'm picking Jack. Is Aerodactyl faster than 2x Zolt? I don't know.
No, I doubt it. Well, actually, Zolt is 55.
Yeah,
right?
55. Yeah.
55 is so fucking slow.
Aerodactyl might be like a couple points faster if he is.
I'm making it happen.
You
here.
definitely got to run that calc though, because when me and Mike were doing the team breakdown, that's one of the things that we brought up concerning Mitch's team is like you have to search for a good scarfer against him just because 55 is so slow. Like there's a bunch of like
Arctozolt outspeeds 1,000,000% of the time.
Okay.
With +2.
Okay.
Like you could run not even let me double check. Okay, you are gonna have to have some investment, but yeah, you could run like 140 EVs and you'll outspeed him.
Okay.
So you got some wiggle room.
Something else I'm noticing is Mitch has like no removal on his team.
Yeah,
It's
that's never really a
Laddie
good
and Gligar.
sign. Yep. And there's no spinning. Not that Jack also doesn't have any spinning,
Yeah, but at least
but he at
Jack's
least has 3 defoggers, if not 4, because Rotom.
Yeah, Rotom,
Does-
Klefki, Moltres.
Does Druddigon get defog?
I don't think so. And I don't think you're running
Yeah, I don't
defog
think
on
so either.
Aerodactyl very often.
Oh no, probably not. But you got options, and Klefki just prankster screens versus an Arctozolt versus Megalopunny versus everything. I think that Mitch's team just doesn't have any real offensive power besides Lopunny and Zolt in Hail.
Yeah,
like
that's
Latios, sure, but not really.
yeah. Latios is the less explosive of the two Latios. It's the more special.
Yeah, that's
defensive
usually the
one.
support one, honestly, and it doesn't do that versus Jack's team.
Although Jack does kind of struggle with just base A Ninetales, I think, because it gets freeze dry for Rotom. Like Hail, Blizzard spam is pretty annoying.
Yeah.
So maybe
I mean, you got
if Mitch
a little
switches it up and goes
Kecleon in
like,
there.
yeah, if Mitch switches it up and goes offensive Ninetales, that could be a kind of an issue for Jack.
Yeah. Or Moltres is there too.
Okay, yeah.
Not the worst Pokemon in the world to send out versus a Ninetales. And then if you got Klefki eats both stabs and then can just Iron Head or whatever.
Yeah. I'm still going Jack.
I was gonna vote Mitch. I'm going Jack after that conversation.
Hell yeah.
Sorry, you're welcome, Mike. You're welcome.
Wow. So that is all 10 matchups this week.
Yeah, that do be it.
Very nice. Wrapping up in like an hour 40. Hell yeah. So
Great
then,
stuff.
with that, we got an exciting week ahead. However,
Always.
Jim, is it potentially the most important week?
But potentially is such a funny word. Because you already know that it absolutely is the most important week of the season.
It absolutely.
It has to be. It's the second week of Conference Cup. It's getting toward the middle of the season. It's when things really start to fall into place. Who knows? Nigea could pull away with the King of the Kill. Crazy plus as well. We could see some of the 2-1ers go 3-1. Some of the 0-3ers could go.
Yeah,
1-3.
people are definitely going to be looking to get that first win on the board.
This is it.
You're going to have the 3-0s with Tristan and Nigea trying to keep their lead as strong as possible.
I mean, yeah, you got, and especially after week 4, I feel like the trades and pickups really start around 4 and 5.
I was shopping for some trades and pickups this week, but I couldn't come to an agreement with certain
yourself.
individuals in my DMs.
Yep. I totally feel that too. But yeah, no, definitely very exciting.
And hey, after this week, everyone's going to be on the board for the Conference Cup, so we'll even have a new segment for Inside the PFL where we get to look at the Conference Cup standings.
True.
However, that does do it for this week with 3 of inside the PFL. Thanks for joining me on such short notice, Jim.
Yeah, you're welcome. Definitely. I was just doing my taxes, so I was just glad I got to finish them. It took me a hot minute.
Then with that, catch us on Tuesday for the broadcast, where
Hell
hopefully
yeah.
we have a bunch of people battling.
Oh, I'll be actually. I don't know.
I don't
Maybe
know if
I'll
I'm
be
battling
We'll see.
on the broadcast. Yeah,
We'll see.
Good
All right.
night, everybody. Bye-bye.